Peanut, nice to see you back again.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And of course, the Lester, it's always nice to see the two of you. Public comment, anyone? Next, approval of the minutes of last month.
I read the minutes and they look fine to me, so I make a motion for approval.
Okay, I'll second that, and we're all in favor, motion passed. Betty, it's your turn.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
The March warrant totaled $20,419.20. I just mentioned over $1,000 for the U.S. Bancorp credit card for $5,159.93. Overhead door for door repair in the amount of $1,367.10. And video control for $3,817.50. The volunteer payroll that's included in warrant is $5,536. March payroll is $13,504.50. That includes chief salary of $4,212.50 and AP shift pay for $2,750. The volunteer portion is $6,110. And there was one event for each of the commissioners and the secretaries. The total payouts for volunteers for March are $11,646. And your February financial statements are in the meeting book. And we are looking for a motion to approve the warrant for March in the amount of $20,419.20, along with payroll for $14,504.50, please.
Okay,
Thank you, Betty.
I have, as usual. Could you give me a breakdown on bank card, bank court card?
Just asking for a breakdown on the credit card.
Yeah, let me grab that one moment.
Just highlighted the more expensive items,
Okay.
So one of the items is the 3,500 physio control. Well, actually, one of the banks. I'll let guys talk first, and then if you have questions after that, I'll answer.
I'm getting older. I can't remember what you say meeting to meeting.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
kidding. It's just that it seems, you just want to break out of it.
Okay. Yes, so there's $210 Jones and Bartlett Learning, usually that's a training book. A couple $100 Roosters, and Chevrolet Cadillac of Bellingham, $408. And the annual fee for International Association of Fire Chiefs in the amount of $279. Puget Sound Energy, which is about $1,500 total. And the NFPA, National Fire Protection, I believe that's an annual fee, along with some additional training booklets. Life Tech Inc. for $520, and $150 office supplies from Office Max. And Pacific Advertising is LCBC $785. And that's the gist of it there.
Would you like any information on any of those?
Advertising for,
Pacific Advertising is for business cards and for our patient care reports forms and for the residential burn permits.
okay,
So we get those printed up there.
okay. No, I'm happy with that.
Physio control is how much, Patty? 3,000 something?
Oh, Disney Control is not on there, but
Right,
yeah,
it's
that's going to be a warrant for $3,817.
So that is our annual maintenance of all of our automatic external defibrillators. For LifePak 12s, 15s, 500s, 1000s.
That one I remember. Okay. Bill, did you have anything?
No, we don't, Stan's okay now.
I'm okay.
Yeah, he is.
Sorry, I just, my job. Anyhow, I would make a motion for approval of, a motion for approval of the warrants for $20,419.20. And I would make a second motion for approval of the payroll for $14,504.50.
Okay, I'll second those two. And all in favor, motion passed. Okay, Patty, stay on the line here. The void warrant, we need a motion to void one warrant, correct?
Yes, correct. I am requesting authorization to void warrant number 993803 in the amount of $207.24, made payable to North Whatcom Fire and Rescue. That was for a fee that we owed them, and it accidentally got duplicated on the payable form last month. It was on one page and then the other one. I did not realize that until the warrants were paid, so I apologize.
No problem.
So it is listed on this month. They will reissue the check for the correct amount, and then this will be voided, and I'll just do a journal entry, and it'll be corrected out of there.
Okay, and the amount was 20724?
Yes, 20724, and I need all of the commissioners to sign, or the two of you, if there are two present, to sign the void chair warrant form as well.
Okay,
So moved.
good, that's passed as well, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. The next one is the hospital district invoice, which would be the annual rent of this year and part of next year.
Yes, so I sent out in your email packet, I went ahead after talking with Suzanne Kinsey, I invoiced for the annual fee, which is rent for the hospital district there for May 2015 through April of 2016, because they were having an early meeting this month, so she wanted to get that in. The amount invoiced was $14,421. Looks like for the contract, it's pretty status quo. That amount is listed in there unless the commissioners so choose to increase that for some reason.
You okay with that amount, Stan?
I'm okay with that amount. We don't need that.
Okay. All right.
So it's a motion to approve.
Yeah, we don't even need a motion for that, I
So
think.
you don't need, it was more of an informational, so you know that that was sent out, and you should be expecting that revenue here by the end of the month.
Yeah. Good, okay, we'll leave it status quo, and hope they're happy over there.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for that. We did the approval of the vouchers, the payroll, we need to do an addendum to the chief's contract for his last COLA increase, CPI
Yeah.
increase, rather. Will
They had
follow.
typed up, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, I had typed up just an addendum that went over what was approved at the January meeting. And this would just be signed by Chairman Nursing and Chief Carlson and just be attached to the back of his contract.
That's fine.
And the addendum states that this document is to serve as an addendum attachment to the current fire chief's employment agreement as approved by the Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 5 at the regular meeting of January 13, 2016. Also duly noted in the official minutes. The cost of living increase of 1.1% shall be granted as of January 1, 2016, which means that the increase will begin in February, because that's when we paid his January wage, for January hours rather. The contractual increase is equivalent to $550 annually and is based off of the June 2015 CPI percentage published in the West Region Consumer Price Index, as noted in his contract.
Thanks, Betty.
We need a motion for that?
No, we just Chief and I will sign that addendum, and that's done then. Correct, Patty?
Correct.
All right.
Just a housekeeping issue, basically. And then I just had, two other things. One thing that I felt that we should note in the meeting minutes, and it's also always recorded on the bottom of your financial report, that the February total for the warrants paid out was reduced by $3,060. So total February warrants were $22,745.19.
Okay.
And that is due to, there were a few 2016 form, it's called Form 8233, that those are required by the county if they're an exemption from withholding of non-resident aliens. So Canadian residents, the volunteers, they get paid the award, but in order to do so, the county is now really cracking down on getting these forms every year. So everyone had been on the payroll, and there were a couple forms that we didn't get in time, so they just reduced our warrants by that amount. And as we were getting the forms, I'm just adding them back in. So they will get paid for them as soon as they turn in their forms.
Okay. This is merely for our information then at this time?
Yes, for your information, and I thought that Linda might want to just note it in the meeting minutes, or when we get audited, that the auditor can see that we noted that the payout for February warrants ended up being reduced,
Yeah.
other than the amount that was originally approved.
Thank you. You have the amount, Linda?
Yes, I do, thank you.
Okay, we'll make a note of it. Good. Okay, she's doing that, and we're fine there.
Yeah, and then the last thing is just an update for the 2016 budget. Also listed on your financial report, there's the breakdown of the divisions, and the total budget remaining for the 2016 is 82.77% overall.
Yeah, okay, thanks again. Okay. Stan, do you have anything from Patty?
No questions. Again, thank you for the budget remaining summary. That's a very helpful little tool.
Yeah.
Sure, you're very welcome.
Chief, any-
Patty, the void warrant form, that's within documents you sent, so
Yes,
I'll have
that is
the,
there.
I'll have commissioners sign that, and I'll also have them sign the warrants as usual, and bring that down to you, or have that given to you.
Yes,
Okay,
bring it up to me and that would be great.
all
Yeah.
right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Patty, have a nice day.
Okay, thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, that took care of all that. Okay, next item is correspondence. Chief, you have anything but the main item? Any correspondence? No? Okay, then we'll get to, the board has received one letter this month. And it's a letter that I have here, and I'm going to give you a copy, if you want to have it. Open it up, I read it. It is a letter from Commissioner Wilmot, and it's addressed to the board. Let me read it to you. It's addressed to me and the board. It says, "Dear Bill, it is with sorrow that I must inform you that I am resigning my elected position as Commissioner, Whatcom County Fire District 5, as of March 9th, today, this year. Declaring health no longer permits my contribution to the level necessary to perform my duties. I would like to express my gratitude to the people of Point Roberts for the opportunity. During my tenure, I was privileged to participate in a renaissance of the fire department. Strong leadership, an exceptional level of professionalism, and the dedication of the members, staff, and commissioners to the safety and well-being of this community will ensure that District 5 will continue to distinguish itself. I wish all the best to my successor." Signed, Jeff Wilmot. Commissioner Riffle has a copy as well, the chief has a copy, I have That job has a copy for the newspaper. Before we close this off, I would just like to take the opportunity to say thank you to Jeff Wilmot for his services. He started here in September 2012. He was appointed. Subsequently, the next year he was elected. And even though we've had our differences in the past, I have learned to respect the man. I'm sure I'm speaking for you too, Stan.
Absolutely.
And the chief as well here. We have all learned to respect Jeff. The man is full of pride. He had a lot of that, still has. At times he was funny as well, even though he came over extremely most of the time. I know that his life, especially the last year or 2 years, must have been full of frustration. And we've seen him struggle, physically struggle and mentally struggle. He was man enough to talk to me and the chief about it some time ago. And he asked us for advice, what you should do here. We went over the various options. And this is the result of those discussions, this letter of resignation. I've learned to really respect the man in private life and here. And I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart for what he's done here. He was not easy at times, but he was a good man to be here, to have here. That's all I have to say about that. Stan, you want to?
Well, I just, based on his illness, he always showed up to meetings, a great sacrifice to himself. So I admired that about him. I admired his ideas. And he was the devil's advocate in many ideas, so, which is good. We need to have a opposite opinion, and he will be missed.
Yes, we will be. Chief, do you want to add anything?
It saddens me greatly that we're losing Commissioner Wilmot before his time was up or that he was replaced during the election cycle. It saddens me because he was a great leader within this organization. He helped this organization grow to where it is today and give us ideas in the matter of where we might go in the future to give the very best we possibly can to this community. And I just hope that through the upcoming process that we're able to find a successor that will have as much dedication to seeing this organization flourish and to become something even better for this community within the emergency response and the public relations that we have. I think it's going to be a tall task, and I hope we're able to find that individual. So, it's a process. And again, we've been through a number of processes since I've been part of this organization. So I look forward to it. Look forward to working with his successor, whoever that may be, to see that this organization continues on the path that it is.
Well said, Chief. To close this item off the agenda, I'm going to ask you for a motion to accept Jeff Wilmot's resignation.
I would so move to accept the resignation of Jeff Wilmot as commissioner.
Thank you, Stan. I'll second that, and the motion is passed. That resignation is now official. Give me just a very, very brief rundown of what has to be done and what this board, the remainder of this board has to do. We need to fill this position. that, the county council will appoint someone from this community. In my history, that has never happened. We were always able to come up with someone. I'd like to give a couple of note a couple of qualifications that I think, and I'm sure stand on. Agree with me that this new person should bring to this organization. And first of all, that would be enthusiasm. We don't need any negative type of people here. Need somebody who's practical. Need somebody who can read a budget. And somebody who has a reasonable amount of knowledge of to read financial statements. We need somebody who understands that the chief runs the business, so to speak. We are not involved in the operational aspect at all. The commissioners are basically, foremostly, stewards of other people's money. We are dedicated types of people who should, and we do take other people's money very seriously. We've been blessed with a good income. We should keep it that way. We don't like to squander money. We need to be responsible people. Very responsible to the last penny. Now, anybody that would like to apply for the position, in fact, maybe you want to take note of this, because I'm sure you want to publish that in your newspaper. I would like to see that someone who's interested in this position, that person sends a resume and a cover letter addressed to the commissioners of this organization by mail and to us or the chief by hand. I think that's a little better than emailing personal resume and a cover letter. We're also going to place an ad in the newspaper for your next issue, Pat, and will that be the end of this month, right?
Yeah.
If you want to remind us if you forget it, let us know that we need to take this ad.
Okay.
Maybe you can put it on the e-point bulletin.
Okay.
I'd like to have somebody in place between 60 and 90 days from now. I don't think we should rush into this. We'll take a good look at people that are interested in this position. Like I said, it's an appointed position. This position will also go on the ballot at the same time as my position will go on the ballot next year. Because an appointed commissioner has to go on the ballot, has to be elected or remotely elected, basically within 2 years. So the next 5 district ballots will be next year, 2017, November. Then that particular position from jail for another 2 years until it goes into the regular election. Overall speaking, this position is for 6 years without if there are no interruptions. That was that. If somebody is appointed in this position, there's a certificate of appointment, and the position has to take the oath, which will then that will be sent to the delegate, to the auditor, and it will be an official position at that time. So, that was that. Chief's report, go ahead.
Chief's report for March 2016, reporting for the month of February 2016. Point of information, I have 4. Again, I keep reminding homeowners to call their insurance company and see if they can get an ISO benefit from our class change. Second item of information is the AFG grant information. The grants, again, to remind everybody that I put in for through the federal process, is an SCBA grant for roughly $180,000, a vehicle grant worth $450,000 for a new fire truck, and also a regional grant that is comprised of this organization, Fire District 14, the Linden Fire Department, and also Fire District 7 for cardiac monitors, LifePak 15s, to replace our old equipment and to upgrade us into new technology. To remind everybody, the vehicles that we have, the 2 engines, one is 21 years old, the other one is 25 years old, 1991 and 1994 are the dates of those apparatus. Usual service life is 20 years for an apparatus. Other departments that are busier would maybe get 10 to 15 out of their apparatus, but due to our call volume at this point, we're able to extend that to around 20 years. We're reaching the 25, well, we've reached, I think, the 25th year for one, and we'll be reaching that soon with the other. So I'm trying to see if we can get assistance through the federal plan to overcome some of that cost. Obviously, there's a 5 or 10% matching that the district has to do, which is very well within our means. The other grant that I put in for most recently was a grant to the Medical One Foundation out of Seattle. It's for 50% coverage of a Lucas device, which is a electronic CPR compression device when we don't have personnel or the amount of personnel we need during a cardiac arrest. That device itself is roughly $15,000. So if we're successful at getting that, that will allow us to make sure that we have continuous chest compression during cardiac arrest events when we only have 2 or 3 individuals possibly on scene. The AFG grant information will be available. I should start finding out hopefully at the beginning of April if we've been awarded, but it's federal government, so that could take longer. We're just not sure. So April is the starting point for us on that. We have 2 members starting the advanced EMT training program in April. We have 3 members that will be finishing up, coming up this month, and coming back in April to take their written exam for National Registry, 1 EMT and 2 advanced EMTs, and 2 more starting in April. We also have 2 members that will be starting the Texas Fire Training Academy in April. That'll be a new hire that we have. His name is Andrew, and he's actually from the community. And his mom actually works at the marketplace there. And then one of our internal members who's been with the organization, Christina Tersakian, will be going through the Texas Fire Training Academy as well. Her son, who's a member, Alex Tersakian, is already in that academy. And it looks like mom and son will be going to Texas together to go through a 2-week training process at the end of their didactic time. And we'll see who comes out in front. I have nothing to report about the apparatus. Member roster is currently 44. We have 27 Canadian, 8-point Roberts, and I include myself now in that number, and 9 county. We have 5 paramedics, 16 EMTs, of which 6 are advanced, 3 ambassadors, and of that 44 members, 34 are firefighters. Volunteer hours for the month of February, 2,371. Volunteer payroll in emergency reporting was 11,039. Combined chief hours, I worked 148 hours. Assistant Chief Shields, 157.5. Total hours, 305.5. We had 10 calls in the month of February. 6 EMS calls. We transported 3 patients to St. Joseph's Hospital, and we had 3 no transports. We had 4 fire classifications of calls. 3 were outdoor burns, all illegal burns, unpermitted, improper size, improper burning material, and we had 1 structure fire, which everybody pretty well knows about. It was on Williams, if I remember correctly, Williams. I again would like to say I'm very proud of the membership that was here, that was involved in that structure fire. We did get a good stop on that, even though it was pretty much fully involved when we arrived. And by putting a quick stop, we were able to salvage a lot of their personal items that insurance money cannot replace. So that's one of our jobs as well. So we did a good job, and I'd like to thank the membership for that. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief. One item that I don't know if we got almost did, and that is resolution 21601. That's a resolution to approve the surplus equipment of last one that we bunkered here. To follow procedures correctly, we need to have a resolution for that, so we have one here, we gotta sign that. Okay, that was that.
Do we need a motion on that surplus list?
No, there's
We already
definitely a
did that
resolution
last
for it. That's confusing sometimes, motion and resolution. Okay, unfinished business. New business, Dan, do you have anything?
Well, yeah, we're painting, getting ready to look at painting the building. It's in good shape, but it's in perfect shape to paint right now. We don't have a lot of repair to do. Last time the building was painted was 2009, and it was a average painting job. It wasn't spectacular.
Why didn't you just say it was a lousy paint job?
Well, I'm trying to be politically correct.
That's
Anyhow,
not what it's for.
so what we're doing is putting together a request for proposal. Now, this is totally my idea. I haven't really been able to talk this off with the chief or Bill. Of course, I can't talk to Bill about it, but I would like to go out initially to just the painting contractors on Point Roberts. Give them a chance, short straw, so to speak, give them a chance to put a bid in. This is what they seem to want to do while I was running for re-election last time. And give them a shot at it, and we'll take a look at what the results are. The painting, I don't think the painting is going to exceed $15,000. It shouldn't. And I'd like to give there's about 5, 6 guys here on the Point, all qualified painters. I believe they're qualified. They're licensed and insured and all that. So that's my idea, is to put it out first to them. If we don't like what we get back in the way of a request for a proposal, then we'll turn it over and put it out maybe off of, what's the works roster down in,
Small works roster.
Small works roster, that's what I meant to say. But there's very few painters on the small works roster. So I think first step though is maybe to invite these guys to come by and pick up a request for a proposal. I don't want to put it out on email, because then just anybody has it out there. We don't know who we're getting back in, and I didn't want to take the time to vet all the painters when they come back in. But we know the ones here on the Point that are, it can make it with qualifications and recommendations. And so that's kind of it with painting. And I put together an initial RFP. I'm sure the chief will work it over and massage it, but it's been sort of a short few days here that I put it together. But anyhow, that's kind of the way to go. We can shorten it even more, probably help our cost factor. So, and that just got created today, and I sent a copy to the chief.
So you're looking for a qualified and licensed Thank you.
Qualified licensed painter, and he's gonna have to be insured, liability insurance.
I know some others qualify the license. Everybody can be licensed, but qualified is another thing.
Well, that's, you ask for recommendations, ask for 3 recommendations, and a person that we can talk to physically, and we'll follow up with that. They want recommendations, we'll call them on the phone and find out what they have to say. For example, Nielsen's just got painted, and so we have Lauren Nielsen we can go to and say, what do you think about your painter? And the church just got painted last year. We can go right to and talk to them about their painters. As to other large buildings, Old Brewster's got painted 2 years ago by Michael Neal. But this
Okay,
is what
well,
the
what
community
about-
seemed to want.
I can go out there and trade. See if we can find somebody locally. Give them, anybody interested locally should take the steps to come to the firewall there and get a RFP.
Pick up an RFP, they're gonna have to look outside.
Look at it, and then I'll do that thing, and then maybe next month we'll do it. Some idea.
Well, when I published the RFP, I said April 15th, but they have their, proposal back to us. I don't know, maybe that's too short. I think it's.
I don't think that's too short. I mean, it doesn't, you don't have to be an animal to figure out how many square feet this building is.
That's
She
true.
does have to take the effort to come out here and look at it.
And I would like it brought out to the public that the building's not in bad shape. To get by, if it were my house, I'd probably let it go another 2 or 3 years, as we all do. And then we have a bunch of repairs and scraping and everything else. We're in pretty good shape. Building's in good shape. Good time to repaint it. It's the best bang for the buck is to be able to paint it without spending a lot of time in prep. So,
Okay. Well, Stan, you and the chief coordinator then, we'll see what we come up next meeting.
we may, when we get down to receiving the first bids, we may have to call a special meeting. But, just to go through them. But, because we can't just jump in, the 3 of us, and talk, so.
No, but that's why if you get people, talk over with the chief and put it on the table at the next meeting. If we come to a time that we really have to very sure, then we'll call a meeting. If you find someone a month from now, that will give that particular person, with that list that you have, you give them a little time to prepare. You can't expect somebody who lives on the job to start next day. That doesn't do it.
Well, we could also pull the turn-in date so we would have results before the next meeting. That's a month. So, results before the April meeting, a couple days before that, so the date could be changed on that.
I'd like, if I may, I'd like to have permission to put it in the newspaper that we're looking for proposals to paint. Also place it on the electronic all-point bulletin and on Point Interface, because a lot of the painters belong to Point Interface. And also place this on our website so people have multiple avenues and no excuse of not getting the information.
That's a good idea, the website.
From that. The other thing I'd like to say, I want to make sure that we follow all applicable laws in a process. We believe it's going to be under 20,000, which we don't have to go out for official bid if we have a project under 20,000. If we're getting proposals back that are over 20,000, then I would like to recommend that we go out for obviously, follow the RFP over the $20,000 limit in a procurement process and publish that countywide so other painters would have the ability to lessen that cost to the taxpayers if necessary or capable of doing so.
So, with this initial stage, can we keep just a publishing in the all points bulletin?
Absolutely. I think it's a good process. I like the process that you have. I just want to make sure that we follow anything that any other district would be doing within the confinements of the legal limits and the law when it comes out to finding prospective painters. If we wanted to, and this is something that's the public needs to know, if we wanted to, the small works roster is a legal document, and it also gives us, through the auditors, to go to that small works roster and pick anyone off that. And you do not have to go out for bid if you choose somebody off the small works roster. So I think there's one or two painters on the small works roster. So we could just do that, but we'd also like to open it up and make sure that everybody knows that wants to know. People have to come here or watch the videos or get on the internet, read the paper, those types of things, to know that we're looking for a painter to paint the building. And there's only so much we can do. I can't go door to door.
I'll call the 5 or 6 painters that are on the list from Nielsen's. By the way, the list that I was given, woefully out of 8. It's 2.5 pages long now, so. But
The thing you want to make sure is that if you call those 5, that you don't miss 6 or 7, because those 6 or 7 are going to be upset that they weren't on the list, or that they were overlooked, or whatever. So I don't know if I do that particularly. I think I'd let them come to us, and if we see them about, sure, we can say, hey, spread the news. But if you miss somebody, call me. They're going to wonder why you missed them. And I paint as well. They could say I paint as well. Maybe they're not on Nielsen's list. But I don't want you to get caught up in the middle of somebody saying, well, you were just to me because I didn't know, because you didn't call me. So that's obviously your choice if you want to do that, but I just don't want to see you get caught in the pickle.
I think we can talk it up a little bit. We don't have to be high and mighty and sit here and say, you come to us. We can, put out a little bit and say, hey.
Well, I'm going to publish it in all the avenues available to us within this community. And again, people have to be interested in doing the work, and they have to be willing to come forth and look for that as well. So they need to be responsible for the professional contractors. And I look forward to those who come forth and put in that request. So, but I just want to make sure that we are following everything that's applicable for us to follow in regards to procurement processes.
And along those lines, when they bring their bids back in, or their proposals, they're going to be sealed.
That's absolutely correct.
Leave them sealed.
Yeah.
Do not open them, and we'll open them at one time.
Well, we can have a work session as well.
Exactly.
To go through the contracts. Obviously, it's the commissioner's decisions. And if we need to interview anybody, we can bring people in to interview, give them the option to actually get to know them.
It's leaving them sealed like that is very, very important in the world of contracting. It avoids a thing called bid shopping.
No,
So
absolutely.
if you can do it cheaper than this, you did the job. Well, you don't want that to happen. That's not going to be a legitimate news. So
Yeah.
anyhow, that's all I have on painting, and I look forward to your comments. I just sent that RFP to you, so
I haven't even had a chance.
I know, and I'm sorry. I didn't get it sent, or I just didn't get really excited about doing it.
I kind of agree with the chief with his comments that it's better not to contact them, because there is no such thing as a painter's contractor's license. If you go to LNI in Bellingham, you want to know the exact amount of people that are involved in particular trades. Yes, there is a plumbing one, there's an electrician contractor's license, there's a handyman's license you can get. There's probably 1 or 2 others, but there's no painter's contractor's license.
As we found out when we had the building painted in 2009.
Exactly. So what happens is, if you start calling on the list, let's say you call a general contractor,
You missed
so,
that.
and you miss somebody, he might throw
That's a good point.
a big caboose on you, because you didn't call me. No, you were listed as a general contractor, so we didn't call you. But he also does painting. We don't know that. Anyhow, we'll put it in the newspaper. You got 2 jobs out of us today.
Not bad.
It's
More than Meg ever comes
Do
up
we get a
with.
discount since we're publishing 2 things?
Pay for your fuel. Okay,
Thanks, Commissioner. I appreciate all your effort.
Yeah, I look forward to working with you on it, because it's kind of fun.
okay, any more new business? No? Linda? Oh, you want to make a motion that we close it down? Okay.
Oh, I'll make a motion for adjournment.
Okay, I'll second that, and it is now 16:44, 45.
Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Yeah, that's it.